Good afternoon. It is Monday the 17th of March and it's about 20 minutes before New York Open. So, what to say really? So obviously we've got FOMC on Wednesday, and today, overnight we had a pretty decent reaction, kind of in the middle of nowhere really. I did get some fills here. I had fills between, well, my top fill got filled, and it was happened to be the Pico Boston, and I had some down to about 81.5. But I've taken profit and went to the gym, and now obviously we've rejected around this composite high area and this previous composite low again. So, clear line in the sand at the moment, around 83.7, 83.8. I'm still semi-interested in bidding this area, but my reluctance is obviously just because this is our distribution and it's kind of in the middle of it. So I'd much prefer to see these poor lows get cleaned up, and possibly for this imbalance to get a test to entertain longs. So, if we come down here and then reclaim the composite, I think that would be a preferable setup. As things stand, I'm probably just going to sit this session out because I just don't really have any other clear plans. I think this was a clear, decent shorting opportunity. But unless we break out now, I think, this is likely just to rotate lower within this distribution. So I don't really have a particularly clear setup unless this poor low is swept and then we reclaim 80.5 being this composite, which we're still building out really. Obviously, over the weekend, we had this push into previous week's value low again, which just cleaned up Sunday's highs, which were horrendous. I mean, this is ridiculous, really. So, yeah, irrespective of the hyperliquid whale and him getting hunted, these highs needed to get cleaned up. So there was a decent shorting opportunity and then long overnight. And now I think the most probable scenario is that we just rotate back to composite lows, and obviously that's going to be bad for alts near term. So, yeah, I've just taken off all my risk and we'll see what sets up later. But if we sweep this low and then reclaim, I think that's the clear long. Typically we see downside and de-risking into FOMC, and then potentially if Powell says something positive, we could rally afterwards. That's kind of the way I'm thinking about it. But I don't want to be premature to longs. This isn't a great low, this isn't a great low, so it's very plausible that these get cleaned up before we see any upside, if we are going to see upside at all. Let's just take a look at things from a VWAP perspective. Profile-wise, it's clear we need to get above, 83.8 essentially being these overlying composite levels, overlapping composite levels around 83.7, 83.8 area. So that's kind of line in the sand to get above, and then to the downside we've got 80.5 being the level to potentially deviate and reclaim for longs. VWAP wise, we are rotational on the month, but obviously trading below the previous month. 87k is still definitely an interesting level, but we've gone back to rotation on the week. So that, the latest shift is bearish because we've accepted back within the previous composite, which we tried to get above on Friday and hold above on Saturday over the weekend. So we have shifted backwards inside the previous week. So, on this basis, potentially looking back to previous week's val around 79.8, 79.7 areas to take out these poor lows. So, potentially some support here. I wouldn't lean too much on this level. As I said I probably would yesterday, but no. I think we need to consider where we're trading in terms of the distribution, and that's down to 80.5, and then we've got previous week val potentially to line up below these poor lows. So some levels to watch, essentially just under here. And I think that's it really. I don't have a great deal else to say. It does look like this is going to go lower for the time being. And I'll probably be more active later in the week because I feel like I've missed these short setups now. Can't derive a great deal from this. It's very neutral. So we'll just have to see what kind of aggression we get on New York Open. But yeah, I'm still pretty risk off, goes without saying, and I'll see if something sets up sub 80k basically. That's it. I don't really have a lot else to say right now. I did long Sol earlier, but I took profit. Took a bit of a loss on Sonic FTM. Yeah, I don't love it. I mean, you can certainly make a bullish argument because this is a return pullback, but we'll see. We need to really get some release from this area. So for now, I'd rather just be cautious about things. Fartcoin is similar. I mean, retested, but then big rejection off previous week val, and looks like we could become rotational. We should just expect more of the same, right? Just more bracketing. So until we get a clean breakout here, this could easily rotate back towards 24, 25 cents and just keep building out value here. So yeah, pretty risk off for the time being, and we'll see what sets up later. But I don't really have much else to say right now, so I'll probably have more later in the week. Cheers.